asked the question all the time, what did I do to change my self-concept? So I'm going to explain to you guys how I did it, and no doubt this is going to benefit you guys too. So this is actually a photo of me here at my absolute lowest point in my life. I was in a really, really dark place. I was really, really depressed, right? I was insecure. I had a really low conception of myself. I was in a job that I absolutely hated. I was living in an apartment on my own, and I was using food as my coping mechanism to make me feel better about myself, which is why you can see here I'm a little bit more on the chunkier side. And the reason why that is because I was eating, I kid you not, a block of chocolate, like those big ass sizes of block chocolate every single night. Now you're probably wondering, how the heck did I go from someone who was overweight, unhappy, miserable, depressed, and really, really heartbroken to someone who is now fulfilled, really fucking happy, and has everything that I could ever possibly want in my life? Well, first of all, I got really fucking clear on who it is that I wanted to be. Not who I currently was at that time, but who it is that I really wanted to be. I grabbed a pen and paper and I asked myself these questions of, how would I like my life to look like? What do I want my lifestyle to be? How do I want to feel about myself? What do I want to do? What fulfills me? What makes me happy? So once I got super clear on who it is that I wanted to be, I then started to implement a little habit into my life to help me continue to be this new version of me. So every action that I took going forward, I would ask myself, is this serving me? Is this choosing me? Is this respecting me? And am I going to feel good about what I'm about to do later? And that would either be a yes or a no. And once I did this, every single action that I took, I would always ask myself, does this serve me? Does this choose me, right? So if I had a block of chocolate in front of me and I'm thinking, fuck, I could eat that whole thing, I would say to myself, is this choosing me? Does this support me? And am I going to feel good if I eat this whole block of chocolate later? Chances are I wouldn't, so I wouldn't even touch it. So I would always check in with my actions and my behaviors to see if they were supporting me in the new version of me that I wanted to be. Because the new version of me wanted to be really mindful and really careful about what I put into my body, what I ate, what I did, looked after their mental health, looked after their physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, all of it, right? So it would be the same thing. Like if I was binge watching Ozark and it was 10 o'clock at night, I would say, if I watch another episode of this, is this serving me? Is this supporting me in the new version of me that I want to be? If I'm getting up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, is it more beneficial for me to have more sleep or watch another episode? And it would be a yes or a no. This is exactly how I built consistency in my behaviors in the new version of me that I was choosing to be. I would constantly check in with myself, like 20 times a day. Is this respecting me? Is this choosing me? And am I going to feel good about doing this later? This is exactly what allowed me to build consistency in my daily habits. So it's now a part of my lifestyle. It's now a part of my identity. It's now part of who I am. I'm now someone who is super mindful of what they put into their body. I take care of myself. I work out every day. I'm careful with what I eat, what I drink. I'm careful with how I spend my time. I'm very diligent in what I do now. Old me didn't give a fucking shit. So if you're changing your conception of yourself, you're up-leveling your self-concept, you're owning who the fuck you are, which you should be, right? Check in with yourself. Is this action choosing me? Is this action supporting me? Am I going to feel good if I do this later? Yes or no? If it's a yes, fucking do it. If it's a no, then you may want to reconsider.